In this video, we will enter payables into Sprout, approve invoices to pay, print checks, and process ACHs. We will also discuss some special use cases for adding fees. Once a purchase order has been received, the associated payable can be entered into Sprout. The AP Payables screen shows current payables. To add a new one, click Add Invoice. The first example would be a standard inventory payable. Choose the type of inventory and enter your vendor. Now enter the required information. You will receive a warning if the invoice number has already been used. This is sometimes acceptable. If so, you can add a letter to the end to make it unique. If your vendors have terms configured, the due date will automatically populate. The transaction date will populate automatically from the invoice date. If you wish to have this invoice automatically post to a different date, such as a prior period, you can set the transaction date as well. Users must have the specific rights for this, otherwise the transaction date is unavailable. The GL accounts are automatically set by order of precedence. The vendor's overrides followed by the general ledger defaults. Users with the correct rights can override the populated GL accounts if needed. However, that is not common and should be done only by qualified accounting staff. Once the vendor information has been entered, a list of open POs and line items will appear for that vendor. You can also search for a specific PO by entering the PO number. Choose the line items and verify the amounts. If there is a mismatch, you can either enter the amount or edit the PO. This should be confirmed with the buyer, however, to determine why there is a mismatch. I have changed the invoice total to $5,900, and you will see that you get a mismatch warning error. If you post this, you will result in the suspense general ledger being hit for this $100. Ideally, this is resolved before you save the invoice, but if you have to save it, you can come back and edit it. This will reverse the original entries and create new general ledger entries. To save the payable entry with this discrepancy, you must acknowledge it, and then you can save the invoice. You can see in the general ledger entries created that the $100 is in the suspense. If we go back and edit that payable and correct it, in this case back to $5,800, and save the invoice, we will see a new general ledger entry reversing it, and then the correct general ledger entry for that payable. Now we will enter an expense payable. This time select the type of expense and enter your required information. Scroll down to the GL distributions. Notice how the GL distribution is set. This comes from the vendor under default general ledger expense. You can manually make multiple distributions as needed by clicking Add Distribution and making the necessary changes. Once complete, save the invoice. The next example we will enter is an inventory payable with an unexpected expense on the vendor's invoice. Choose the type of inventory and enter your required information. Scroll down and search for PO 10089 and select the line items. Notice that you get a warning that the PO has a difference of $92. This is because the invoice from the vendor has a $92 charge for documentation. Enter that as an added fee by clicking Add Fee, choose the item, and enter the amount. This will balance your invoice and you can save it. Once payables are entered, the next step is to approve invoices to pay. Users with the correct rights can either approve invoices in full by double-clicking the amount due or by entering a specific amount they wish to pay. You can also filter by due date and show all invoices due prior to a given date. The Approve All button approves every invoices on that screen. Once the approvals are made, click Update Approved Amounts. To unapprove an invoice, set the approved amount back to 0 and click Update Approved Amounts. You can now print checks for the approved invoices by choosing AP and Print Checks. Select the correct bank account if necessary and choose the checks you wish to print. If you do not wish to print a particular check, clear the print box. Then choose Print These Checks. From this screen, if a check does not print correctly, you can choose Something Went Wrong, and then you can choose to reprint certain checks. You can also get to this screen by going to AP and Reprint Checks. choose the correct bank account, choose the check to reprint, then choose whether to reprint with the same check number or reprint with a new check number. Sprout handles ACH transactions directly within the system without wasting a check. First, enable ACH for the vendor by locating the vendor, clicking Edit, choose Accounting, and scroll down to Enable ACH. If you are going to send NACHA or similar files to your bank, you must set up the bank name, the routing number, the bank account number, and the bank account type. Otherwise, you can key the ACH information directly into your banking system. To send an email remittance, automatically set up a vendor contact as an ACH remittance type. Once your vendors are configured for ACH, select AP and process ACH payments. Choose the correct bank account. Choose the payments to make by checking the process box and click Process ACH Payments. If you are transmitting a NACHA file, you can download the file by clicking Download All ACH Files. You can download the remittance documents to send to your vendors manually by clicking Export All PDFs, and you get a document showing your ACH batch as well as individual remittances for each vendor. Or if configured, you can click Email All to email the remittances directly. Under AP, Bank Transactions, you can see your different accounts by choosing them under Select Bank Account. Once you choose account, you can select a month or a date range and you will see the different transactions in your account. Here you can also void a transaction by clicking Void. This puts the transaction back into the Approve to Pay process to start the process all over again. A void also creates the associated reversing GL entries. In future videos, we will cover vendor credits and other banking activities such as transfers and bank reconciliations.